Hey, it's Lights Camera Jackson, special Saturday edition. It's Saturday, yes, of LCJ Live. It's September 30, 2023, the final day of September as we close out another quarter of the year. Wow. Welcome to LCJ Live. Your number one movie is probably going to be Paw Patrol, the mighty movie. Yes! Taking down Saw, taking down the creator, taking down Dumb Money. Looking at 6.8 million yesterday. Didn't have any Thursday showings, so that's all Friday money, baby. 6.8 million bucks for Paw Patrol, the mighty movie. Looking at 22.5 million for the weekend. Much more than the 13 million that the first Paw Patrol movie opened to a little over 2 years ago. And the budget on this thing, oh my gosh, just $30 million? Wow. No wonder Paramount has greenlit a third movie. If you want my conversation with Bob Barlin, the writer of Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, go to lcj.podbean.com. And if you want the Animation Scoop Q&A with him and Cal Brunker, the director of the movie, go to animationscoop.com. I got my pals here, Swoop and the Philly Fanatic. The Phillies playoff starting Tuesday, trying to get back into it, and Fly Eagles Fly. I may be near Swoop tomorrow. Yes, Fly Eagles Fly. Looking at the other movies this weekend, Saw X, Saw 10. I think it's going to lose to Paw Patrol, even though its combined Thursday-Friday start is more. Technically, the Friday gross, not as much as Paw Patrol. So it made $2 million Thursday, another $6 million yesterday. Quick math, that's $8 million. That's nearly as much money as Spiral. Remember that Chris Rock, Sam Jackson spin-off movie that Lionsgate thought was going to be good and it wasn't? That came out a couple years ago, and people thought, oh, this is going to get people back to the movies. Nah, no one had any interest in it. Well, this Saw X is going to make more money than Spiral for sure, but maybe 17, 18 million, maybe a little less. I think a lot of horror fans out of the gate wanted to go see this, and they're getting a taste of this, what I've heard is a long Saw movie, a different kind of Saw movie. Saw 10, $8 million so far. So far, $5.6 million for The Creator, which I'm going to be checking out today. Hopefully it's a good sci-fi action movie. John David Washington from 20th Century Studios. And look, 20th Century needs a hit, and I think they thought this movie might be it. Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla, Rogue One, this is his follow-up movie to that. 5.6 million start, maybe 14 million for the weekend. That's about what A Haunting in Venice made. Ooh, it's opening weekend. I think they thought this was going to do more than that. With AI as a big topic right now, everybody's minds, and the promotion. This movie's been promoted so much. Oh my goodness, I've been seeing the ads everywhere for The Creator. I don't know if it's paying off, but we'll see if it's a good movie. I'll check it out later today. Get my thoughts on the movie. Twitter at LCJ Reviews, whatever it's called now. Twitter, X, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, and of course the website lights-camera-jackson.com. It's got some cool clips up there now, some cool interviews. When you're done watching LCJ Live, go to the website. All right. Hey, Dumb Money. Whoa. Sony thought this movie was going to be huge after it had a decent limited start and okay expansion last weekend. I thought last week this movie was going to make maybe $9 million this weekend. It may not get to 3. 1.3 million after Friday. Maybe it'll get to 3, but wow. I think people who wanted to see it went to see it. No reason to see it twice. Frankly, I don't think there's a reason to see it once. It's a terrible film. Also 1.3 million yesterday for The Nun 2. Check this out. The Nun 2 has made $73.4 million. That is, I think, more than one are expected. Even though the first Nun made like 118, I still think, 5 years later, you never know. And this Nun 2, which was number one for 3 weekends, it's over now. You had your reign. You beat Haunting in Venice. You beat Expendables 4. Congratulations all to you. But it's time for a new champion. Another $750,000 for The Equalizer 3. Equalizer 3 is up to $84 million. It will not get to the $100 million of the first 2 Equalizer movies, but maybe if it makes a run at 90, Sony can say, you know what? It was good we did a third. It came close. We're happy with it. So I think it's gonna make a run at 90. We'll see if it gets there. Barbie added $365,000. Its total is $632. The reissue of Stop Making Sense added 369,000 yesterday. It's made about 2.5 million or so. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 added 330,000. It's at 25.5. Again, as I mentioned last time here on LCJ Live, it needs to get to 28.2 to pass Asteroid City as the biggest Focus Features movie of the year. It's going to be close. I don't think it's going to happen. If you're watching here live on YouTube Live, thank you. If you want to send in a question or a comment, I'll read it here on LCJ Live. You got some thoughts on the box office, what's going on in the movie world, the entertainment world. The writer's strike is over. Yes. Now we need the SAG-AFTRA strike to be over too. That'd be great. As we got more box office results rolling in. Yeah, as articles are mentioning, the last weekend of September is usually a good time for animated movies. Sony has taken this spot often. Leica took it. Some other animation, Warner Brothers has taken it over the years. This end of September spot, kids back to school, but they want an escape. And the escape this time is Paw Patrol. And yes, some theaters in New York City, including some of the big theaters, closed yesterday because of the rain. Hopefully they'll be back open today and for this weekend. As more box office results are coming in on the special Saturday edition of LCJ Live. We're live. We're talking about all things motion pictures and entertainment. This weekend's big movie coming up next weekend, of course, is The Exorcist Believer. I watched the first Exorcist for the first time just a couple weeks ago to get ready, and I loved it. Oh my goodness, I love the story. It's so deep. The scares, it really did get me a few times, and just completely into it. So I am excited. I have avoided trailers. I have avoided commercials. I'm going to keep avoiding them for the next 6-7 days until I see The Exorcist Believer. I hope it's good. I hope it's like the Halloween reboot from 2018. Ellen Burstyn is back. I hope it's very good. I have seen a movie called Miranda's Victim. It's a true story drama starring Abigail Breslin, Luke Wilson, Donald Sutherland, Andy Garcia. It's got quite a cast to it. Muriel Enos. And I am not allowed to say anything on it until Wednesday. But you'll get my thoughts on Miranda's Victim on Wednesday. The season premiere of The Simpsons is tomorrow night. It's a fun episode. Homer is a crossing guard. I have screened the episode. It's a good time. It's a good start to the 35th season of The Simpsons tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on Fox. Mickey and Friends Trick or Treats is a new Halloween special that's on tomorrow night at 7 on Disney Junior, Disney Channel, Disney XD. It's on Disney Plus Monday. If you want my conversation with the director, David Brooks, go to lcj.podbean.com as well as animationscoop.com. Fright Crew is a new DreamWorks show premiering Monday. That Q&A with the makers of that is on animationscoop.com. And this Monday coming up, get ready for my one-on-one with Jennifer Lee, the Chief Creative Officer of Disney Animation, the Oscar-winning director of Frozen and Frozen 2, the writer of the new animated movie Wish. One-on-one, great in-depth conversation. You will find that at animationscoop.com on Monday. She talks about Wish. She talks about some other projects going on at Disney, her time at the company, the advice Bob Iger gave her when he gave her the CCO position. All of that is at animationscoop.com on Monday. I had the chance yesterday to attend the Woodstock Film Festival. I met an icon in Bill Plimpton, who premiered his new animated movie Slide. Bill Plimpton's a legend in animation, does a lot of the artwork for some of the Simpsons opens and has made animated features and short films and Academy Award nomination recognition, and an icon in the animation world. It was a pleasure to meet Bill Plimpton. Also met Anthony Bregman, the producer of Flora and Son, which is now on Apple TV+, and Eileen, which I saw yesterday at Woodstock, a new mystery drama starring Thomasin McKenzie and Anne Hathaway that opens in December from Neon. I have seen it. It's an interesting film. I'm not going to share full thoughts on it yet, but what I will say is there's a good section in the middle-ish, early to middle, of Thomasin and Anne together that I think is pretty good. The rest of it, there's some strengths, there's some weaknesses, but I'll have more thoughts on it closer to December. I'm going to have a piece on meeting Anthony as well as the experience of being at Woodstock. That'll come next week. But that's one of the big awards contenders that Neon is putting out along with Ferrari this December. Thank you to the folks at the Woodstock Film Festival for having me yesterday. It was always a nice time being there. I want to mention this film that's on Netflix right now called Reptile that I think is great. It is a murder, mystery, drama, thriller starring Benicio del Toro, who's also a co-writer on the film. He reteamed with some of the production people on the Sicario movies. Benicio del Toro is fantastic. I liked being engaged in his character every step of the way. He does have good dialogue. He does have interesting moments. He does have interesting reactions. Justin Timberlake is also in it. Justin Timberlake is good. It's a supporting role. If you're a diehard JT fan, he doesn't dominate this movie, but he's in a key role as a key character, and he has a decent amount of screen time. Also in it is very good is Alicia Silverstone, who I haven't seen in a lot of movies lately, but she's very good. She plays Benicio del Toro's wife. It is a very interesting movie. It's well crafted. It has a rhythm to it that I like. It takes some twists and some turns that you do not expect. It does keep you guessing. And what I think makes Reptile work and the weaknesses of Eileen are Reptile plays with you a little bit, and there's some interesting editing choices and there's some sudden moments, but they don't trick the audience for the sake of surprising the audience or shocking the audience for a moment and then bringing you back to reality. And that's what Eileen does. Reptile does it much better, much smoother, and I like the rhythm. The director of this movie did a lot of music videos, comes from a music video background, and so it has its own style and vibe to it. So if you've got 2 hours and 15 minutes, it's long, but it didn't feel long to me. It felt worth it to go along this journey. If you've got the time, watch Reptile on Netflix, one of the better original Netflix movies in live action that I've seen in quite a while. So check out Reptile on Netflix. So Paw Patrol is going to win this weekend. I really think The Exorcist is going to win next weekend. It's probably going to make a good amount of money. The interest is there. It's going to make more than what Saw's doing this weekend. The early buzz, according to boxofficepro.com, 21 to 31. To me, that's a little low, but it's going to be number one next weekend. It is. It's the only gigantic release. There are some limited release movies next weekend, including Miranda's Victim and a couple others, but The Exorcist is the only big movie. And then you've got Taylor Swift, and then you've got Killers of the Flower Moon, and a few movies at the end of October and early November before the Marvels and Hunger Games and Trolls and Wish. And Napoleon, that's November. But Exorcist will win. I think it'll do closer to 30 than 20. I really think people are interested in this. And then Taylor Swift is going to open to probably $125 million. It's going to be unbelievable how much money the Taylor Swift documentary makes as theaters keep adding showings after showings after showings. So I think this is a good weekend for the movies, that these films are doing well. And it'll be a good weekend next weekend for The Exorcist. And for week 2 of Paw Patrol, there are some animated movies coming out between now and the doubleheader of Trolls Band Together and Wish. The Canterville Ghost, which I've seen. A film called Inspector Sun, which comes out at the end of October. There's a few smaller animated movies and family movies until then. But Paw Patrol is going to take the majority of the money between now and Trolls. And Paramount and Nickelodeon are going to be thrilled with that. To follow my adventures, maybe in the land of these two, you can go to Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. The website is lights-camera-jackson.com, youtube.com/lightscamerajackson. I believe we'll be back at our normal day and time next Sunday. That would be October the 8th, right? Yes, October the 8th at noon Eastern for the next LCJ Live. We'll see how The Exorcist does. And you'll get my thoughts on more movies. And that Jennifer Lee Q&A is available Monday at animationscoop.com. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the games. Maybe Taylor Swift will be on Sunday Night Football this week. The promo's already got her music. It's very funny. And the viewership will be big. And I will see you next time for LCJ Live. Bye, everybody. Thanks.